biologist Rick attempts to wake the alien creature with an electric shock. Suddenly, the alien creature attaches itself to Rick's hand. The electric shock device is instantly broken by him. His name is Calvin. He was discovered in Martian soil. One end of his tentacle firmly attaches itself to the base. Panicked, Rick tries to pull his hand free. Calvin, however, plays a game of tug-of-war with him, gripped Rick's hand even tighter. The immense force caused Rick intense pain. Next, Calvin forcefully broke Rick's fingers. The pain caused him to faint. His colleagues frantically called out to Rick from outside the chamber. When Rick's hand was finally pulled free, his palm was shattered and crushed. Then Calvin grabbed the broken electric shock rod and used it to pierce through the glove, and quickly escaped from the incubator. Everyone was shocked. At this point, Calvin had developed a high level of intelligence. It entered the glass chamber of the White Mouse. It cautiously tested the situation but was bitten by the White Mouse. Calvin quickly launched an attack, tightly wrapping itself around the White Mouse. It was instantly absorbed by Calvin. Soon, the White Mouse became its food. Rory quickly opened the hatch and pulled Rick out. By this time, Calvin had grown several times larger. It wrapped itself around Rory's leg. David quickly closed the experiment chamber upon seeing this. Rory used a high-temperature rod to drive Calvin away. With Commander Carter's approval, Rory picked up a flamethrower and aimed it at Calvin. The agile Calvin managed to dodge the flames each time. Soon, the flamethrower ran out of fuel. Calvin sensed that the threat had been eliminated and pounced directly onto Rory's face and crawled into his mouth, and then absorbed Rory's internal organs. Blood spurted from Rory's mouth. Rory, whose body was gradually being absorbed by Calvin, floated in the experiment chamber. His colleagues could only watch helplessly. The floating flamethrower triggered the fire alarm. The sealed airlock suddenly opened. At that moment, Calvin crawled out of the corpse. Its body had grown significantly larger and become much stronger. It crawled toward the fire extinguishing vent along the airflow. The commander closed each water spray nozzle one by one. By this point, Calvin had developed superhuman intelligence and began searching for an exit. As the last exhaust vent closed, it escaped from the experimental chamber. The nearly invisible Calvin could appear anywhere in the space station. Commander Kate requested assistance from Earth, but before she could finish speaking, the communication system suddenly malfunctioned. Upon inspection, it was found that the signal transmitter had failed. Kate put on her spacesuit and went to the signal transmitter. She opened the coolant device and found that the coolant was gone. Suddenly, Calvin emerged from inside and attached itself to the spacesuit. Calvin was also a carbon-based organism and needed water and oxygen to survive. Kate slowly crawled toward the hatch, but a few drops of coolant appeared inside her helmet. The spacesuit's cooling system had been damaged by Calvin. Time was running out. She untied the safety rope and struggled to reach the hatch. The helmet was filled with coolant and she could no longer breathe. Calvin, attached to her body, was also seeking an opportunity. Kate knew she couldn't let Calvin enter the space station. She made a decision, closed the valve, and drifted into space with Calvin.